Hey folks, flying solo today on post-sermon thoughts. Sarah's not feeling well, so she's getting some rest, and I just got back from a meeting I had and thought I would record some thoughts while they were fresh on my mind. I loved getting back into the book of Acts today. I loved, I'll put it this way, the simplicity yet profundity of the gospel. Simplicity in that the gospel message in and of itself is not hard to understand. I mean, I'm sure we can, navel gaze and you know, swish around a glass of some beverage and say but how deep can we get into this? We can get very deep into it, but the message in and of itself is not difficult. That Jesus Christ died for sinners like you and like me, and was buried and rose again on the third day and is seated at the right hand of God is great news that sinners have the opportunity to have a relationship with God that they would not otherwise have. Simplicity yet profundity of the gospel. And it is profound in that it is our motivation not only in coming to Christ, in understanding the good news, but then also living for Christ. And I think it was about 2005 when that reality really, really changed my life, which is about maybe 1 or 2 years after it had changed the life and ministry, really, of a good friend and former lead pastor of mine that I used to serve with over in New York. He was really gripped by it, and I thought it was good and okay. And then finally, the Lord really awakened my soul to understanding, yes, the gospel is the power of salvation to all who believe. That's completely true. It's also the power of that motivates us. It's the motivating power to living for Christ and desiring to please him with all that we do and with all that we say. And we grow because of the gospel, and we seek to love our neighbors as ourselves and love our families and love our friends because of the gospel. It literally, there's a gospel centered reason, gospel driven reason to do all things that pertain to life and godliness. So that's really, it was just exciting to hear it again. My eyes welled up as we sang the closing song. It was good to hear the gospel afresh and anew again. And so I will close with just recommending a book to you. You've probably heard Brad and I recommend this book before, The Cross-Centered Life by C.J. Mahaney. Little orange book that is so simple to read, both in the way it is written and in its length. I mean, it's a really short read, not a big deal at all. You can easily read this. It's an unintimidating read. You're not committing to weeks and weeks of reading. This is a really small yet profound book. They rewrote it and combined it with another book. Now it's called Living the Cross-Centered Life, and that's just as good. But I really like just the original, simple, straightforward Cross-Centered Life, Little Orange book. See if you can find it. Shouldn't cost a lot. We probably have it at our resource centers at our campuses, but you can call and check. But you can get it on Amazon, probably just as easy, if not easier. You might want to dive into that. That's a great primer, if you will, as to what it really means to live a life that is not only changed once by the gospel, but then changed in an ongoing way by the gospel. So I'll leave it with that. We'll keep it kind of short because I know you might like hearing from me, but you really love hearing from Sarah. And so she's not here, so it's just me. So I'm going to cut it short for now. Also want to say thanks to all those who came to our watch party. We had a watch party. We hosted our watch party for the first time. We've been to 2 other watch parties, and it was so sweet. This time we got to host one, and we just loved having people in our home and being able to watch the service together. So much better than just doing it on our own. So hope you're reaching out and hosting those on your own, or going to some on your own as well. And that's all I got for now. So love you guys. Can't wait to see you, and I will talk to you soon.